What we're looking at essentially is a full simulation of a sugar mill. So the overall sugar process that we're looking at, we're only looking at a part of the sugar mill, that's known as the crystallization stage or the pan stage. But the software that we're developing essentially is a full simulation of a sugar mill. Mm-hmm. So once the farmer's grown the sugar cane, that sugar cane is actually trucked to the mill or sent via cane tram system to the mill. After that process, we actually get the sidings of cane to the mill. It actually goes through a process where the cane is actually goes through a series of rollers within the mill. The juice cells within the cane are actually ruptured, and that extracts the juice essentially from the cane, and the remaining parts of the process, they're recycled back into the system. The overall cane processing process is very, very efficient. From there, that juice goes through a series of clarification and purification type processes. And once we get a clear, highly purified syrup stream, that goes to what's known as the pan stage. So we're looking at developing process models from sugar coming into the actual sugar mill from the very initial stages via cane. It's then we're focusing on one small process at the back end of the overall factory, and we're then looking at building models as to then what happens with that syrup stream. So the crystallization stage of the sugar mill, it's probably the most complex part of the factory, because we've got a whole, this is the portion of the process where they actually grow the sugar crystals and produce product sugar that we use every day for our cup of tea or our cup of coffee.
The system is very complex, and it does actually involve human operators who make decisions at a very high level. Although there are raw sugar coming into the system, at the end of the day, the crystal that we use for coffee making, now in between those, the decision-making factor there is pretty complex. So what we're trying to do here is to model this into a machine state, meaning computerize it, but the computer system itself works parallel to the actual system, and the computer system itself is the one that, what we say is a predictive, is a forecasting model that would actually forecast what would happen in the near future, probably in the next 5 minutes. So in that way, it will actually provide advice, what we say recommendation to the human operators. So it's up to the human operator to actually know, saying that given this case scenario of the next 5 minutes, would you like to do option A, B, or C? And the operator can actually ignore the advice if he sees it fit to be so sort of thing. Yeah. So again, still based on his own human operator's intuition and his past experience, he could actually select one of the options and then carry out the options that has been recommended to him by the computer itself. The project would probably last about 3 years, about two and a half years. Yeah. So I think the time frame now is that the remaining time frame for us should be quite launch date. The launch date will be sometime in 2013.
2012,
2012, 13, more or less in that time frame. We'll probably say we go with 2013, early 2013.